You have arrived at the Dinar Trend Tracker channel. What is the global reporting of dinar and dong payouts? Is this the most anticipated financial event that any of us has ever seen? Speculation has begun to circulate throughout the world over the possible processing of Tier 4B payments. Communities on Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese dong are on high alert, and social media is a hive of activity. It has been long anticipated, and some claim to have finally gotten payment confirmation. Online communities, Telegram channels, and Twitter feeds have been agog over this news, with opinions ranging from hopeful to skeptical. Understanding what 4B stands for, separating verifiable facts from speculation, and looking at the current situation are all crucial steps before making any assumptions or financial judgments. Let us guide you through each claim, examine the data thoroughly, and give you an accurate picture of where these currency payouts are right now in today's video. Settle in with a cup of coffee and hold on tight as we break down this unfolding plot point by plot point to help you make sense of the current situation with the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong. Anyone just starting out with currencies must familiarize themselves with Tier 4B. The amount, timeliness, and financial links of holders determine their tier in the worldwide foreign currency exchange system. People in Tier 4B typically are those who have bought foreign money with the expectation that its value will rise, such as the Iraqi dinar or the Vietnamese dong. The general population, who do not often have access to insider information, is represented by Tier 4B, as opposed to higher-tier institutional investors, banks, or government entities. The anticipation of a worldwide currency reset, which would allow these daily holders to trade their currencies for better rates, is what fuels the excitement surrounding Tier 4B rewards. The latest reports are particularly noteworthy because this group has a history of being the last to receive any prospective reward. We will investigate the reasons behind the accusations' global attention-getting nature and their veracity today. So, just what are individuals asserting at the moment? Posts displaying images and messages from people claiming to have received payment notifications have surfaced across several messaging and social media networks. Theoretically, these originate from financial institutions such as banks or currency exchange facilities. Posts range from pictures of dinar or dong exchange appointment confirmations to accounts of phone calls from so-called personnel who supposedly provide comprehensive instructions on how to collect compensation. These assertions have gone viral on currency-focused social media platforms including Twitter, Facebook, and Telegram. The anticipation is palpable, as many have patiently waited for any indication of confirmation since buying these currencies years ago. Remembering that not all reports are credible is key. It is crucial to closely examine these assertions before accepting them at face value, as the currency speculation community has witnessed waves of false alarms throughout the years. If we want to know what can and cannot be accomplished, we need to look at the Iraqi dinar scenario. Iraq has strengthened its banking sector, stabilized its currency, and gained worldwide trust in its financial system through extensive economic reforms implemented in recent years. Since political stability has always had a significant role in determining the value of the dinar, recent improvements in the country have created an atmosphere that is conducive to economic stability. Additionally, oil exports, which contribute significantly to Iraq's revenue, have remained reasonably stable. Despite the optimism, these changes do not portend an immediate reassessment of the dinar. Economic, political, and international monetary variables all have a role in determining the value of a currency. Without consistent global confidence in economic progress, a dramatic spike in the value of the dinar is quite improbable. All parties involved in the negotiations around the Tier 4B compensation must be aware of these facts. When talking about Tier 4B rewards, Vietnam's economic situation is an important factor. Strong economic growth over the past decade has been driven mostly by manufacturing and foreign investment in Vietnam. Employment, exports, and GDP growth have all been boosted as a result of numerous enterprises shifting their operations to Vietnam from China. The stability of the Vietnamese dong has been further enhanced by reforms to the economy and better infrastructure. The Vietnamese government still prefers regulated, gradual currency reforms over abrupt, drastic ones, even though there have been some encouraging developments. Therefore, investors should not expect a huge overnight revaluation, even when they are delighted about the possibility of payments. Important economic advances should not be confused with promises of sudden currency windfalls that can impact holders of Tier 4B assets around the world. Can you tell me where I can see these payout reports? The majority of accusations are making the rounds within internet communities that are highly engaged in currency speculating. Fans of the Iraqi Dinar or the Vietnamese Dong often post images, emails, or anecdotal evidence of what appear to be payment confirmations on their social media platforms. People who have been patiently waiting for a long time tend to assume that their time has finally come, which can lead to the rapid spread of rumors. A normal bank message could be mistaken for confirmation of an exchange, leading to some posts that are actually just misunderstandings. Some may originate from deliberate or accidental dissemination of false information by persons. It is crucial to exercise caution when seeing such claims, as their viral nature makes it hard for casual followers to distinguish between fact and fabrication. As they assess Tier 4B payout claims, viewers should keep an eye out for a number of warning signs. No secret special access agreements or secrecy clauses are necessary for actual cash exchanges. Official banking channels that adhere to stringent regulatory processes are utilized by legitimate financial organizations to process trades. Scams sometimes involve promises of hidden locations, secret hotlines, or unauthorized contacts where payment is supposedly possible. Furthermore, there is no basis in economic reality for currency rates that are so inflated, guaranteeing thousands of times the present market value. Traditional financial news channels, not online social groups, would cover a big revaluation of a currency extensively. Anyone keeping up with the Tier 4B conversations must be aware of these red flags in order to avoid falling victim to fraud or misinformation. The dissemination of these news is also influenced by currency brokers. A lot of consumers who buy dinar or dong do business with dealers who keep in touch with them through newsletters and social media. Although these messages frequently contain economic news, occasionally recipients mistakenly believe that they are receiving alerts of upcoming payouts. Unwittingly adding to the spread of false stories, dealers have a financial motive to maintain customer optimism. It is crucial for holders to independently check any news instead than depending just on dealer communication, since, even with good intentions, excessive expectations can be created through cycles of hope and conjecture. Do not base any major life-altering financial decisions on these reports alone if you are a holder of Tier 4B currency. Maintaining regular financial habits, keeping your principal employment, and avoiding significant purchases or investments based on unproven information are vital, regardless of whether social media is bustling with reports of imminent rewards. The most secure method of verifying any communications or alerts you might receive is to get in touch with your bank through established channels. Scams that take advantage of people's enthusiasm for a certain currency are frequent, so it's important to exercise caution when providing personal information to those who claim to help with trades. In light of these changes, it is prudent to exercise caution and keep yourself informed as a means of protection. There are a lot of psychological components that make these payoff reports so interesting. For years, holders have put their money and their hopes into the prospect of a possible revaluation. As a result, the prospect of sudden monetary windfalls becomes emotionally charged. One common psychological bias is the sunk cost fallacy, which states that people are more likely to believe that success is imminent the longer they procrastinate. People who belong to communities focused on currency speculation tend to believe this since they exchange experiences and stories that are similar to each other. It can be difficult to objectively assess assertions on social networks, despite the fact that they give support and companionship, because they magnify false information and group optimism. To respond rationally to Tier 4B news, one must be aware of these psychological factors. It has frequently been discovered that tales of people really getting compensation or setting up appointments are false. Upon request for verified proof or upon discovery of misconceptions over what transpired, numerous posts vanish. Every once in a while, people will mistake the regular market exchange rate for a special Tier 4B payout. Although there are very few cases of valid transactions, outlandish assertions necessitate compelling proof. The assertions are not supported by any evidence, including official bank certifications that have been reported by several credible sources. Be wary of overly dramatic social media messages and instead base your decisions on facts. Practical measures to remain informed and avoid scams are vital for individuals who are following this issue closely. Staying up to date on Iraq and Vietnam's economies, as well as any possible changes to their currencies, can be achieved by following official economic news sources. When something happens that can affect the Iraqi dinar or the Vietnamese dong, major financial news agencies write on it thoroughly and fairly. Similarly, to get precise and useful information on legal foreign currency exchange services, you should contact your bank. Compared to unregulated internet platforms, most banks are better equipped to deal with currency transactions at market prices and without the need for additional procedures. There is a fine line between useful and deceptive information shared in online communities and forums. Although these platforms provide a sense of community and enable holders to share their experiences, they also have a tendency to magnify unfounded claims, rumors, and speculation. Due to the high emotional stakes and desperation for cash confirmation, TR4B conversations are particularly prone to misrepresentation. Information should be double-checked from official financial institutions and mainstream news channels, among other reliable sources. Do not put your faith in unsubstantiated claims made by individuals or shared on social media. Doing so could lead you astray and put you at risk of falling victim to frauds. The Tier 4B community is quite worried about scams. Some people or organizations take advantage of the enthusiasm around currency revaluations to ask for money or personal details. In exchange for money or personal information, scammers often offer perks like discounted rates, hidden access, or faster reimbursements. Just a friendly reminder, honest transactions never call for hidden agendas or upfront payments. You need to be on the lookout, skeptical, and verifying everything to keep yourself safe. Respond with caution to unsolicited messages pertaining to currency exchanges and never provide important information to persons you have not vetted. Avoiding monetary loss and emotional strain requires constant vigilance. Despite much anticipation and talk, there is currently no confirmed proof of large rewards beginning with Tier 4B reports. The trends in online engagement, popular articles, and community gossip are reminiscent of past ebbs and flows of unverified news. Those holding Tier 4B should not give up hope completely only because of this. The economies of Vietnam and Iraq are still developing, and it is always feasible for currencies to gradually appreciate as a result of regular economic processes. But the basics of today's global economy make the idea of abrupt huge revaluations sound impossible. If you want to keep things in perspective, you must understand this difference. The possibility of lawful future trades within conventional economic frameworks should likewise be acknowledged. The financial systems, banking infrastructure, and efforts to attract international investment in Vietnam and Iraq are both undergoing active development. These changes can have an impact on the value of a currency over time. Investors in Tier may fourth feel as though currencies rise in value on their own as a result of rising global confidence and economic growth. The huge overnight profits commonly talked about online are more likely to be little and gradual returns. One can better prepare for future events by educating themselves about genuine economic indicators. Subscribing to reputable financial news sites is suggested for those interested in current updates. Credible news sources report on global economic events, policy shifts, and currency movements. You shouldn't rely on social media communities as main sources, although they can augment it. If you follow reliable news sources, you can keep up with important events influencing the Iraqi dinar or the Vietnamese dong. Tier 4B holders can make better decisions and protect themselves against frauds and disinformation if they know how to distinguish between speculation and confirmed news. Overall, people should be careful and think critically when they watch the news, even when Tier 4B payment rumors are making everyone excited. There is now no verified confirmation that significant settlements are in progress, and extraordinary claims necessitate extraordinary evidence. Realistic expectations on economic changes, reputable news sources, and genuine financial methods should be the emphasis of currency holders. Never let your hopes or speculations influence your investment selections. Doing so could result in disappointment or financial damage. The tale of Tier 4B dong and dinar is far from over, therefore it's important to stay up to date while being cautious. Keep up with the newest happenings by liking, sharing, and subscribing. It is always wise to act based on your best knowledge.